So my friend's daughter reached out to me the other day and said that she has to interview an entrepreneur for her college class. And I realized that a lot of kids have to do these projects. So it'd be easiest if I just make a YouTube video and share it with everyone. So that way everybody has it. Hi, I'm an entrepreneur. So my name is Erin Treese, and I started a company a couple years ago called Erin Treese Marketing. At this moment, the only way to work with me is to get on a wait list and go through an interview process, or I have a newsletter. So my company name is Erin Treese Marketing. And then I also run a business newsletter called the Family First Business newsletter. And that's relatively new. I've only had that for about 6 months. The reason I'm transitioning my business in this direction for about the next year is because I have to have surgery, and it's going to put me down for the count for a solid 30 days. And then I'd really like another 1 to 2 months to fully recover. So I'm in the newsletter business right now, and probably will be continually, because I think it's a really useful way to reach the masses. What I had built over the last couple of years was a business consulting company focusing on marketing. And what I primarily did was, when you watch those business gurus talk about all the tools that your businesses need, funnels and all of that, I don't so, but specifically for each individual business, because what I was finding was I was talking to these parents that had these great successful businesses and needed to put all of these tools and automations in place, and they didn't know how to do it. And they felt like they were drinking through a fire hose, and I was good at it. So, and I'm also like anti-hot mess, anti-hustle culture. So by putting these tools in place in their businesses, it gave them a lot more bandwidth to do things with their family and then eventually scale. So she gave me a couple of questions. Let's see, what is your business name? I already went over that. What made you want to start a business? So I had intended and was kind of raised that I would go into the workforce and be completely self-sufficient. And I was going to stay home with my kids until they went to school. And then I was going to start working or go back to school and then start working. And that trajectory kind of changed when we found out that my oldest daughter was profoundly dyslexic. So it was decided, like after working with a psychologist, it was decided that her best course of action was going to be either a private tutor, which we couldn't afford, or homeschooling. And I'm a pretty competent person. My husband's a pretty competent person. So we both decided at the end of the day that the best option would be to not just bring her home, but bring all 3 of our kids home and homeschool them. So that changed the trajectory, and I've always had an entrepreneurial itch. So over the course of the last several years, I've started a few different companies. And at the end of the day, the issue that I had with every company that I've had was traffic. It wasn't good enough at generating enough traffic. And that is the number one issue that you're going to have in a business, in my opinion, unless you just don't get started. And that happens a lot to people too. They come up with these brilliant ideas and then they don't ever implement it. Let's see. Yeah. So really my decision to start a business was because I wanted to be able to be for my family. I'm going to say things that are a lot different than a lot of other entrepreneurs that you talk to. Okay. My biggest goal right now is raising 3 very, very capable children who can go out into the world and do whatever they decide to do, because I've equipped them with the tools to do it. And my husband has equipped them with the tools to do it. And that's my number one priority. Okay. It's not my business. It's them. So, I'm not going to talk to you about scaling and all of that. If you want to read a book on that, I would recommend Ben Hardy's book on scaling. That's the best one. I'm not hard charging, because my hands are full with homeschooling and taking care of my family. I intend to scale this up as they get older and as they transition out of my house and into their big lives. Let's see. What was the hardest part about starting your business? I still, to this day, have trouble taking sales calls because it's hard for me to find a quiet time. I homeschool the kids and we're remodeling my house. So it's really important. It's just hard to find quiet. So I am very, very intentional with the clients that I take. And that's something that I absolutely recommend that most entrepreneurs do. In the beginning, if you're in your 20s, you don't have kids and you just want to be scrappy and you want to work 12, 16 hours a day, fine, go for it. It's your prerogative. But when you're 43 years old and you have 3 kids and you're remodeling a house and you have some health issues and stuff, there's other things to consider. But what were some speed bumps or setbacks when starting your business? So I had financial constraints. And I think that that's probably an issue for most businesses. I kind of got to the point where I just couldn't put any more money in unless it was making money. And so the goal is at this point to run it break even or near to that for the next year and then scale up after that. I think that, yeah, like I said, that's probably the number one constraint that most have is that whole idea of, is there anything you would have done differently when beginning? Yeah, so when I started, I wish I had just focused on the consulting side of it. That's the side that I like the best. And I could have built out some more standardized tools on the back end to sell. But at the end of the day, if I had focused on driving all of my traffic just to that one offer, it would have simplified everything. So I really think that for the first year, you need to pick one thing and just go after that one thing and not complicate it with a lot of like benefits and bonuses and making it overly complicated. Sell the one thing. And then if you want to upsell them into other things or offer them higher ticket things after that, then it's worth it. What has made you successful in your sector of business? So I am a voracious learner. So this is for Kay, and Kay knows that. I just constantly consume educational material. So because of that, I'm able to pull in stuff from a lot of different industries into industries that maybe they haven't been applied to before. And so that makes things, that can help other businesses that have been stagnant scale pretty quickly. And I spent 2 years basically learning, I don't know how many tools there are now, 50 some tools. And because of that, I can help implement them in a way that's super duper streamlined for businesses. And that helps free up a lot of time. And realistically, with AI coming online and stuff, the more of these tools that you put in place, the more you can really, really hand stuff off your businesses, not just to employees, but to AI. And I think that's going to be the secret sauce moving forward, is to empower each employee to run their own host of AI agents that can do tasks to help multiply their experience. I hope this is helpful. I actually just taught a class on entrepreneurship to a group of upper high school kids. And so at some point, I think I will put that in this link so that anybody who wants it can get. Also, this 4K, I'm going to put all of my links in the show notes or in the description for you so that you can get a hold of them. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to email me. My email is aarontreesemarketing@outlook.com. And if you're interested in working with me, you can simply send an email to that. If you need business consulting, I will take you through an interview process and we'll go from there. And I'll put a link to the newsletter too. So you guys can check everything out. And Cadence, if you have any questions, message me. All right. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you soon. I just realized that I missed one of the questions that she had asked me, and it was, what has made you successful in your sector of business? And I think what has made me successful in my sector of business is the fact that I have set what success looks like for myself and my business. I don't compare myself to anybody else. And I would encourage anybody to do that whenever you're setting success for anything. Is it a monetary goal? Is it a time goal? What is going to make your business a success? What is going to make whatever you're trying to do a success? So what has made me successful is the fact that I set my own definition of that. And for me right now, that definition is I pursue one thing. I wholeheartedly pour everything I have into that. I work in deeply defined pockets of time in my day, and I ruthlessly let go of anything that doesn't serve my end objective. All right. I hope this helps. Bye.